Si vous avez déjà vu Hannibal, Casino Royale, La Chasse ou Arctique, vous savez que le dénominateur commun entre ces films à succès est le talentueux Mads Mikkelsen. Cette icône du cinéma danois est notre invité pour ce nouvel épisode du Scan spécial Festival international du film de Marrakech. Ce monstre sacré du cinéma a bien voulu nous faire découvrir son univers. Je ne vous en dis pas plus, je vous laisse découvrir l'épisode. Thank you for taking the time, first of all. How does it feel to have your career achievements celebrated in this edition of the festival in Marrakech, especially considering this year is the festival's 20th anniversary, which coincides with your own birthday?
It did, yeah. Everything about it is wonderful. I mean, I was here 10 years ago with a Scandinavian delegation. And then I met Scorsese, as I said yesterday, and then I realized that De Niro has received the award. And then we had Willem Dafoe on the stage. He's three of my biggest heroes when I grew up. Mm-hmm. So being at the same table as them is very surreal for a Dane. And like a life achievement thing, it's something you have to digest that, because that means you're getting older and older when you get that. But I'll take it.
And the fact that they're celebrating this year your career achievements alongside the Moroccan movie director Fawzi bin Saidi, what does it mean to you?
As I said, it's a beautiful festival. It helped the Danish films when it was on the rise. Marrakech took us in, and it helped tremendously to put us on the map. So we're super grateful for this festival, and I understand you have 2 Moroccan films in the competition this year. So so alongside that whole thing, it seems as if you're doing really well now.
I've attended your masterclass this morning, and you've joked about how you're often casted as a villain in Hollywood, and how you're casted as more of a nicer character or hero in Scandinavian films. Do you find frustration in Hollywood's tendency to do some sort of typecast?
I know it's the name of the game over there often. I've done a few things in America that has been absolutely very different. But the bigger things I've done has been, as they would call it, bad guys. I don't mind it at all. If the alternative is not to work there, I'll take it any day. I'm a very lucky man. I can work in Europe and work in America. I think every actor in the world will give their left arm for that situation.
And you've also talked about the accent. It does play a role in the types of roles.
It does, of course. I mean, I know some actors who can just pull it off and get away with doing a real American accent, and I'm not one of them. I kind of lose myself if I go down that path. So I've always found an excuse that why does this guy talk like this? We'll have to find an excuse. He's from Albania or whatever.
Talking about all of the roles that you took over the years, from violent Mads in Another Round or Arctic, and now very quiet Mads in The Promised Land, how do you navigate these nuances between the characters?
Well, I've always been a fan of the film doing what it can. The strongest thing about a film is what we see. So obviously in the old days we had the silence movies, right? And Buster Keaton was one of my biggest heroes as well. Looking at him, and you can read so much into him. So when a film is going down that path, I love it. Obviously a lot of films cannot go down that path, and they become very wordy. And I don't mind that at all. I do like dialogue that's good, well written, but when you have a chance of going down a more silent path, I'm with you.
You talked about the details earlier in the masterclass. Does this help you, the influence of inspiration of Buster Keaton or Charlie Chaplin movies, and how they express so much with doing so little?
I think it is a strong inspiration. It's just, you shouldn't never copy anything you see. You should get inspired, right? But it is inspirational to watch somebody say so much with very little means. I think it's also one of the strengths with the media of movie making. You can't do it on a theater. It's just impossible, but you can do it on camera.
And you've said earlier that how you prepare for your roles when you've been asked by one of the students is identifying a piece of your character, of your personality in the character, and growing it inside you. For the character for Promised Land, how did you do that for Ludwig?
So this character, there's many nuances in the character. I mean, he does react eventually like you and me would do, but in a very different tempo, because it's also a different time, and he's also a different person. But he's an extremely stubborn person. and he believes in justice. Justice has to be served. I do recognize that, so I just had to focus a lot on that, and then throw away some of my own softer sides because he didn't have them.
And looking ahead, 3 years post-pandemic, it seems like it's been ages ago.
It's been, yeah.
With movie theaters struggling to get more audiences,
right,
and the audience is going down, do you have concerns about the future of traditional cinemas?
I'm not sure I do have that many concerns. I mean, everybody wants to be on the peak level, and there are reasons it's not happening right now. It's coming back, and I don't think that... I think there will always be movie theaters. I think we want to enjoy certain things together. Like we want to watch a football match together. We want to hear opera together. And I think that's the same with movies. I mean, the alternative of sitting back home is great if that's the choice you have. But going in together with other people will still be around in 50 years.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.